I don't know about you guys, but my relationship with sleep is absolutely terrible. And chances are, if you're training hardcore, you're eating correctly, but you're still waking up tired as hell and you don't feel recovered, even on those days where you get to sleep in and you get 10 or 11 hours of sleep, you still wake up feeling like crap. It's probably because you need some help with your sleep schedule as well. And that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. I'm going to give you 11 tips to sleep better for more muscle growth, because in case you didn't already know, during sleep, we release anabolic hormones like testosterone and human growth hormone, which are critical for your gains. And actually, studies have shown that only getting 5 hours of sleep per night can lower testosterone production by 10 to 15%, which is a lot. And so I'm going to go through these tips. A lot of them still hold true to today, even though I wrote this article back in 2016, and I'll post the link to this down in the info section below. It's on my website, muscularstrength.com. But, as you guys know, lately I've been going to my older articles and kind of reading through them and sharing them with you guys, because a lot of that information is still great. It doesn't make sense to me to redo it all. I'd rather do a video like this where I go over it. But don't worry, I'm not going to read it word for word. I'm going to skim through the tips and give you guys the juiciest parts. And then, of course, for those of you who want to go and read the entire thing, you can go and do that. But now, before I even dive into this, there's one important thing that didn't exist in 2016 that does exist now, that I will say, I'll put this as like tip 1A. And we'll put stay away from electronics around bedtime as tip 1B, okay? Tip 1A, get yourself a pair. This is not sponsored. Get yourself a pair of these blue light glasses. There's lots of different brands. I go with the Gunnar Optics. These are basically glasses that deflect the blue light coming from your screens, whether it's your TV, whether it's your phone, or whether it's the multiple monitors and lights that you have in front of you because you're in front of a computer all day recording content and taking calls. Guys, when I started WagMeGame.io, the mobile gaming franchise I've been working on for 3 years, after like a month or two, I just every single day, by the time I'd get to the gym, even if it was like early, like 4, usually I go to the gym around like 6 or 7. Even if I got to the gym early, I still just felt so completely drained every single day. My sleep was worse than it had ever been, and I couldn't figure out why until someone told me to get these. And I realized it was because I was just in front of these screens and that blue light was just screwing with my brain all day long. This helps a lot. In fact, I wear these while I'm working. I wear them while I'm on my phone in bed. I wear them while I'm watching TV. I always have them on, except for when I'm filming videos, because I refuse to wear them when I'm filming my videos. But no, those definitely help, and they go into the first tip, which is stay away from electronics around bedtime. So, guys, it should go without saying that electronics around bedtime, like, you need your brain to chill so that you can fall asleep, okay? Especially if you're playing games on your phone. But also that blue light does mess with your brain. Because what happens is blue light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, which can disrupt the body's circadian rhythm, or also known as your sleep cycle. And this can prevent the body from releasing melatonin, which is a hormone that helps you wind down and prepare for sleep. So the blue light is doing a lot of damage to your sleep cycle, and you might not even know it. And I know 99% of you, up until the point you decide you want to sleep, are scrolling through your TikTok and scrolling through your Reels. Even if you're doing that, you can try to reduce the amount of blue light with these glasses. But the best thing to do is to literally hey, I'm going to bed soon. Take the electronics away from your face and maybe watch TV, which is 10, 15 feet away, before you go to sleep. But there's a couple other things that you want to do as well. So you might not be aware of this, but the radio waves from your phone can also disrupt your sleep. My wife has been doing a lot of reading into this type of thing, and how the radio waves are bad for you and they're bad for your brain, and everything is bad. Everything gives you cancer, probably, right? That's literally the world we live in. But from the reading she was doing, it was hey, these radio waves can disrupt your sleep. And so the night I tried it to keep my phone away from my head, I took it off my nightstand, which is where my charger is, which is where I'm sure a lot of you keep your charger, right? And that's why your phone is next to your head, not only so you can answer it if it rings, but because that's where your charger is. I took my phone and I chucked it across the room. So it was like a good 8 feet away from my head when I went to sleep. Like, I had the coolest dreams, the most vivid dreams that I've ever had in the longest time. I'm talking years. I noticed such a difference when I take my phone and throw it across the room and go to sleep and don't have it right next to my head. I sleep so much better. So if you guys are going to sleep with your phone directly next to your head, and if you're on your phone up until the time you go to sleep, that's probably the number one reason why you wake up constantly feeling like crap. You're just not getting quality sleep, even if it is a long night. Like, I'm sure a lot of you have slept in 9-10 hours. You wake up, you're still tired. Well, it's probably because of this one tip that's holding you back the most. So turn that phone off, maybe get something to disrupt the blue light, and chuck that phone across the room if you need to, and try going to sleep that way. Number 2, don't exercise too close to bedtime, guys. This one should be obvious, right? You're working out at night, your body's getting pumped up, the blood is flowing, the adrenaline is flowing. Of course, you're not going to be able to go to sleep. So maybe don't exercise too close to bedtime if it's keeping you up late at night. Number 3, keep your room as dark as possible. What's cool about this is that I always remember that when I go to a hotel, because hotels usually have these like thick curtains that you can use to completely block out the light, to the point you wake up and you think it's still the middle of the night, and you open the curtain and it's like, holy crap, it's actually 11 in the afternoon. But the reason why you want to keep your room as dark as possible is because any light in your room will go through your closed eyelids and get to the retina on your eyes, okay? And so it'll reach the hypothalamus, which is the part of your brain that controls sleep. And so if you notice that you're waking up at the crack of dawn because the sun's coming through your window, block it out. As easy as that. Number 4, get exposed to light as soon as you wake up. It's the exact reason why number 3 works, right? As soon as you wake up, if you want to stay awake, then you need to expose yourself to light. So for me, what I do, as soon as I wake up in the morning, to avoid going back to sleep and possibly entering another sleep cycle and then disrupting that, I wake up, I get my dog, we go for a walk, we've both been exposed to light, we both got our bodies moving, and I stay up. So get exposed to light as soon as you wake up so that you don't just keep falling back to sleep and hitting the snooze button on hopefully your alarm, not your phone, because your phone shouldn't be next to your head. Number 5, stop smoking. If you're a smoker, if you don't know by now that cigarettes will kill you, and they're bad for you for a multiple of reasons, including vaping, I really don't know what to tell you. Stop smoking. Number 6, no caffeine at night. This one probably affects me the most because I do my gaming at night. I'm playing COD with the boys, or I'm streaming my game, Wag Me Defense, on a live stream, and I usually will have a coffee next to me, or an Oxy Shred from EHP Labs, right, an energy drink, because I like to sip on those things while I'm gaming. The only problem is if I'm gaming until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning and then it's time to go to bed, now I'm like super alert from the gaming and from the caffeine, and it's going to take me an hour or two to calm down. So no caffeine at night. Number 7, take melatonin. This is another thing that my wife introduced into my life. In fact, we keep some melatonin by the bed for those times where we just feel like we're not getting enough sleep, enough quality sleep. We're having a hard time falling asleep. So melatonin is very important to regulate your sleep cycles. If you're having trouble sleeping, try taking it as a supplement. In fact, as you age, your body produces less melatonin, causing you to sleep less. So if you're getting older and you feel like you're not getting as much quality sleep, just take some melatonin. It's not a big deal. Number 8, once you wake up, do not go back to sleep. Kind of relating back to what I said over here, get exposed to light as soon as you wake up. The reason being, and I'm sure all of you have experienced this, right? We talk about sleep cycles. A sleep cycle is typically about 4 hours, right? And it takes like an hour or two to enter that slow wave sleep to where your body really starts to rest and recover. And when you wake up, and we've all done this, I know I did this last week and I was mad. I woke up like 2 hours early before I needed to, right? And I felt super alert. And I was like, man, I'm going to feel good today. I'm going to get a lot of work done today. I'm going to train hard today. Everything's going to be great. But I don't need to be out of bed for another hour or two, so I'm going to go back to sleep. And then what happens? You wake up an hour later and you feel like absolute crap. You're dragging your feet. You're having a hard time getting out of bed. It's because you started to enter another sleep cycle and then you disrupted it. And your body's like, what's up, bro? Like, you were about to let me go back to sleep and then you didn't. So here's your punishment. So once you wake up, if you realize or know or feel that you are fully alert, stay up unless you have enough time to complete another sleep cycle. Okay, very important. Number 9, try sleeping with white noise. White noise is great. I like to leave the TV on. I'll put on like Ancient Aliens or The Unexplained, like a show that's just kind of really monotone and easy to listen to. I do like white noise machines as well. They have apps for that on your phone. But again, if you're putting a white noise machine or white noise app on your phone, once you turn it on, toss your phone. Don't put it next to your head on the nightstand because that defeats the entire purpose of what we talked about in the beginning of this video. Number 10, keep your room chilled. This one's pretty self-explanatory, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've never been able to have an easy time falling asleep when I'm super hot, which is probably why you can't fall asleep after you work out. Aside from the blood flowing and the adrenaline flowing, your body temperature is really high, and it's not the best condition to fall asleep in. So, they also say laying down on cooler sheets will help trigger a drop in your body temperature, which signals the production of melatonin and causes you to get sleepy. So I like to sleep with my house around like 68 degrees, maybe even a little colder. I would rather get comfy under a heavy comforter versus sleeping with nothing on and just being exposed because it's so hot in the room. Luckily, my wife lets me lower the temperature to what I like, and if she gets cold, I just give her another blanket. But yeah, keep your room chilled. It'll really help you go to sleep. It does for me. And number 11, I'm a little indifferent about now because have a sleep-friendly bedtime snack can be good. Obviously, stay away from caffeine or sugary foods and this and that. But if I am going to sleep, what I like to do for my training right now I'm leaning out, as you all know, and I'm making very good progress. I'm down to 181 pounds from 200. And what I've noticed for my body is if I stop eating around 7:30, 8 p.m., and then I don't eat again until 11 o'clock the next day, that fasting window has worked best for me in order to lean out on top of my training and eating correctly, of course, and doing my cardio. But sometimes I do, get hungry and I can't fall asleep. So what do I do for a snack? What I typically go for is a little tiny bit of granola, a little bit of yogurt, and some fruit. And that's usually enough to hold me over. I don't feel full, but I feel satisfied, and I don't feel bloated when I wake up. So depending on what you're doing for your eating, whether you're fasting or not, typically I try not to have any snacks after 8 p.m., even if I'm up until midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning. But if I do have to have a snack, that's something that I go for. Something very light, just to kind of like make that feeling of my body doesn't want to go to sleep because it's hungry, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you can drink some water and make that feeling go away as well if you're really trying to stick to your fast. But if you do have to break the fast, make sure you're doing it with something like that and not going after like candy or things like that at night, right? Make sure you're sticking to healthy choices. But these 11 tips should help you all out. And I guarantee, and I want to hear in the comment section below, I want to hear a few things. Number 1, I want to hear your tips for going to sleep at night. And number 2, if anything I said about the Gunnar Optic glasses and the blue light resonated with you, let me know down in the comment section too. And of course, there's some supplements that you can take that can help you with sleep. EHP Labs, my sponsor, has one, Oxy Sleep. Guys can use my code Herman for 10% off the entire website if you want to pick up some Oxy Shred or some Oxy Whey Protein or even some Oxy Sleep. And what this supplement is, it's a blend of collagen peptides, cocoa, and other ingredients that are intended to support healthy skin, promote relaxation, and help improve your sleep quality. So if you guys want to add that to your stack and try it out, you totally can. But at the end of the day, it's all going to come down to discipline and holding yourself accountable to some of these 11 tips that are going to help you sleep better. So hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. And as always, more good stuff coming soon. See you guys.